This is B3FL.
Every cardinal rule of quarterback.
Down on the one. Try. This field goal. Blocked.
Why did he throw?
Back into the teeth of the defense.
Are you nervous? Huh? Really, are you?
Get your popcorn ready.
Hey, somebody has run out on the field.
Start with Matt, I'll kiss him.
Some goofball in a hat and a red shirt.
You play to win the game. Hello?
I look like a psycho.
You play to win the game.
Now he takes off the shirt.
It's my quarterback.
He runs at the 50.
What's that man doing?
He runs at the 40.
My passion was playing football.
He's at the 30.
Golly!
Now he runs the opposite way.
Every single week, I put my freaking heart and soul into this.
Mr. Unlimited.
I don't go out there and laugh. It's not funny.
He's bare-chested and banging his chest.
Far around to the football, play pass. Oh,
The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
Don't you ever talk about me!
Waving his arms, bare-chested. Somebody stop that man.
I'm not the bad guy. I love you.
How many people want to eat a dolphin tonight?
I love you.
Kicks him out!
freaking
That is a disgusting act.
Get fucking sick!
You like that? You like that?
Mike, why are you in such a bad mood?
What do you care?
I got one thing to say to you. Oh, come on, man.
I mean, I know I'm gonna get got, but I'm gonna get mine more than I get got, though.
First show back in a while. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing dandy. I'm doing fine and dandy. Australia's treating me well. It's nice and warm. How about you?
Pistol Gun Cop
What's
show.
been going on?
First show, essentially all season, since before the in the preseason.
Yeah, it's been
Lots going on.
Been a little bit.
Lots going on. We'll address here later in the show some of the absence. Computer's not working at all. So we're using the phone. Don't have my B3FL logo, which is fine. Again, adversity. Had some adversity this fantasy season.
There's been plenty of adversity going around.
We're going to get into all of it. We're going to get into a bit of a recap. But before we get into any more, everyone's favorite segment.
We're thirsty.
Little gin review here.
Artisanal.
Just pulled it out of the freezer. Paper Boat Artisanal Gin. A whitewater distilling company. We haven't tried this one yet.
I love anything artisanal.
Let me get it says right on the bottle, Ryan. Imagination can take you anywhere.
Oh.
I don't want to be an adjective though. I just want to taste a good gin.
Just imagine it's the best gin ever.
Okay, well, let's give it a try here. Crack the bottle. Shout out to Henderson, not because of his fantasy ability. Big gin guy.
Wonder if he's taken some of our advice as far as which gins are good and which are bad.
He's actually, sad story. When I met him, I asked him, I said, I said, you a gin guy? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, that's great. And I said, do you watch the show? Because you would know that I'd be a gin guy as well. Yeah, he's never seen the show. Never seen it. I said, you better watch the next time we have an episode. And it's just been a while since we've been able to do one with the gin review. So we'll have to tag them when we post this. But here we go. Paper boat.
Paper boat. Not the best material for a boat, if you ask me.
Definitely not what you want to build your boat out of. But if you're going sailing, grab this thing. This is pretty good. Nice little drink. It's pretty smooth, to be honest with you. Didn't smell like it was going to be. With each sip, you'll taste the notes of black pepper, coriander, and orange peel, Ryan.
Orange peel? What the?
Orange peel. Interesting.
Black pepper.
Well, I've got a nice list at the back of the book here of all the gins we've been able to taste. Highest score is still a 9.2. This doesn't quite hit the 9s. It's right on the border of an 8 and an 8 and a 7. We're gonna go. Let's go with 7.9 on this.
That's a great score.
7.9.
Nothing to
for their
scoff
first
at.
review. Pardon?
Nothing to scoff at. 7.9. That's good. That's good stuff.
Really, really good. Paper boat, artisanal gin, white water distilling company.
What could
Full
they
of
do?
tonic in there.
What could they do to make it better? What would elevate it?
I don't know. Each gin is its own, Ryan. Like, none of them need to change.
Of course.
I don't know. Well, let's see. How it tastes with the tonic in a mixed drink. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm happy with 7.9. It's a good. It tastes good. It's smooth. Yeah. Been a little while since we've done one.
You know what? I used to think that tonic was like the same as soda water, just like a different flavor. But
Yeah, I think every kid did.
it has so much fucking sugar and shit in it.
Yeah, it's not good for you.
I was so surprised when I discovered that.
21 grams of sugar,
Yeah, it's crazy.
but we love it.
We do.
The alcohol eats away at some of the sugars in when you mix them,
Thank God.
so you're not actually getting the full 21 grams.
Drinking a tonic straight to the face is wild.
So, yeah, I mean, I've been pretty thirsty some days and had to like take like a couple sips of one, and then it's like, oh, yeah, I'm not doing this. Let's get into some B3FL talk here.
Let's get after it. We've had some.
There was a trade.
Some trying times lately.
There was a trade last week, and we want to stand by a couple guys on this. So a trade happened in our league, in the B League, between one good team and one bad team. And one above average team and one not. And 2 players, 2 receivers, Adams, Metcalf go for McConkley and Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper just traded to Buffalo. What were your thoughts on this? There was also 200 fab involved. What were your thoughts on the trade initially?
Upon first glance, I thought that Tom totally fleeced Go Buffalo. And it seemed like that was kind of the discourse around the league, was that, yeah, everyone kind of thought that Tom's side was much stronger, especially with the fab. The more I think about it, the more I think like without the fab it would be closer, but like with the fab it is just crazy. And I think that's kind of what Jordan's been saying. Like, I don't want to just echo and parrot everything that people have been saying already, but You know, just kind of, it seems pretty crazy, and that's kind of what everyone was saying here.
It was crazy. I stand with Tom on this. I'll say that again into the mic here. I stand with Tom. One, Tom, as he said in his thing, and I've seen bits and pieces of it, of the Tom part of the podcast now. He said, I do a lot for this league. He does. Tom does it. Tom does a ton. Tom does a ton.
Hilariously irrelevant point.
Yeah. But it's got to be taken into some consideration here. This is, and I don't believe that the trade was as lopsided as everyone says. I mean, Amari Cooper, I said this as soon as it happened, Amari Cooper could be finished as the top wide receiver out of all four of them. If him and Josh Allen click and he gets healthy, I mean, for the last 5 weeks of the season, he could really be a strong receiver.
That is true, but to counter that point, I think Metcalf and Devontae Smith both have just as good of a chance of becoming the best wide receiver out of those four. And Ladd McConkey, I would say, has by far the worst chance.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's definitely debate, you know, and it's like, how do you value these guys? Like, you don't know, you won't know until it plays out and you see how well they all do. But the 200 fab is just kind of icing on the cake.
Mm.
And I do also think it's one of those things that's kind of been like blown out of proportion a bit. I guess like if a lot of people are complaining about it, then it's got to be addressed, got to go through the trade council and stuff. But I don't know. Doesn't seem that crazy.
I thought it was quite a fair trade. I thought Jordan was making a scene here, as he's done in the past. I'm just trying to pull it up to see what Jordan was initially saying when this was all happening.
I got it right here. Jordan, a trade has been completed. George Stir. Whoa. Push through? Should have to wait as penalty. And then...
and that's what's crazy as well. The trade was completed. I mean, all pending trades get put up. Why wasn't this brought up before the trade was completed? But again, this is Jordan. Who knows what's going to, what was going to happen. And then he decides to have his show go.
Well, to be fair, also, as soon as a trade is now pending, George Stir gives it the eyeballs emoji. Jordan Ivany, what the fuck is even that? George Stir, last 2 weeks, Smith scored as many points as McConnell, probably McConkley, and Cooper combined. Actually, McConnell
he was against it
wild in week 8, so he outscored Smith, but that's just without Quentin Johnston. Still one of the most lopsided trades I've seen in this league. Currently wondering where Tom found all that wool to make that fleece out of.
So quite a bit was said before the trade was completed.
Yeah, there's definitely, the water was rippling before the trade was pushed through, and then it became pushed through, and then there was some extra excitement.
So I think going forward, we get to a point where, like, now that there's a formal investigation, which we'll address here in the show, we're not, this podcast is not happy with the commissioner. And we'll air our grievances here shortly. But I
think that is one of the principles that we built this podcast on, so I think we got to keep that rolling.
Well, and just, honesty. We have it on good authority that he's not giving all the information of the trade committee and what it actually consists of. So we've got some news on that, and we're going to be launching an independent investigation of our own, which we'll touch on here in a bit.
We're going to be completely transparent. We're not going to be like this shadow government trade committee, like Tell us who they are. Tell us what their addresses are. Tell us what times they're gone from their home. Tell us where their kids go to school. You know, like we want to know these things about the trade committee just in case, you know.
Yeah, and it's funny that, and it sounds like we're really going to get into it here. It's funny that the committee is formed, and then he comes out and says, "Hey, I just want to be clear on what this committee is. I've already gone ahead and done it. Didn't ask us what we thought about that. And I've already picked the guys," which, again, since this podcast has come out, none of them have come out and said if they're on it. Have you seen anyone?
I have not seen anyone.
So this is a call out to anyone on that trade committee who has, you know, the capacity to proclaim yourself one of them. It's absurd. It's absurd.
Trade committee is on notice.
And I do believe that the trade should have gone through.
I think
it was completed. It was completed by the commissioner. And and there we go. Why does the commissioner have final say on that? This needs to go to the trade committee.
Well, I think
it's a dictatorship.
The idea of the trade, like I think the people decide, you know, like if there's a little pushback, it goes to the committee. That's just my understanding. I don't know if that actually happens. The trade.
It sounds like the commissioner.
A couple stuffed dolls that Jared's got in his closet, but I don't know.
Yeah. It sounds like the commissioner just got big dogged by his big brother, is what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. And I just hate to be that guy, but you know, Jordan has 0 podcasts of the year on his shelf. And he's now going to call our show out at the beginning of his show, which is calling out Tom, who's done nothing but bring content, good vibes. We're fans of Tom now. We've always been a bit of fans of Tom, but he came out with his power rankings to spite us. We crushed him. He's done a great job while ours have been away. But I just felt it was an unfair conclusion to this.
Yeah, shout out to Tom one time. I think you could use better legal counsel and a more like thought out defense. There's a couple points raised during the trial that I thought were ridiculous.
Well, let's be clear. He lost it. He lost the trial.
Yeah, which, you know, there's definitely, he had the potential to win that trial. You know, he could have come out on top, could have kept all his fab. I think that got reversed. I don't know. Just went the wrong way with it, you know.
Julia's in here getting her dinner around. Oh, she's gone now.
Fan of the pod.
I'm gonna get her. Who's gonna get a possible chicks picks? Lighten the mood a little bit.
Rice.
Rashid Rice. That's the answer to the question I was going to ask. Apparently, the question was going to be: do the Chiefs go undefeated the rest of the way? And she somehow knew I was going to be talking about the Chiefs.
Rashid Rice.
But no, well, I think that just is her subconscious way of saying that Rashid Rice got injured and his season is over, much like the perfect season of the Chiefs will be over. Probably next week when they play Buffalo.
That's exactly what.
So that's what I took from it. No.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That might be the most accurate chicks pick so far.
Well, the Kyrie Irving original pick was still
pretty egregious.
Yeah, and let's go back to touch on the Tom trade here for a sec. Now, what is this now the precedent? You know what I mean? Like, are all trades that are questionable going to have to come into play now?
I think so. I think that's a good system, like especially if it's, questionable. A lot of them so far have been pretty even, and like, sure, if one guy like gets taken advantage of, it should still be allowed in my opinion. But like if it's like very, very clear collusion trade, like especially like the roster sharing, like trading back can't happen. And like
roster sharing was one thing, but to say that
it's a different thing, like we don't need to scrutinize every single trade, and like people can still get taken advantage of. Like I would love to see that, but if it's like fucking Tyreek for, a third string wide receiver or something, then it's pretty obvious that it's been
Sorry, the camera's all over the place right now. Give me a sec. We've been battling today. My computer camera just decided to say, no, we don't want to go. A couple league members have been in the new apartment, so they could have tried to sabotage it.
I didn't even think about that.
And I didn't think about it either, but thinking about it now, trying to keep us silent. One of the reasons that the pod wasn't running, and we were asked not to talk about it, but with all the controversy going on, we'll address some of it. Number of reasons, but ultimately we were approached by anonymous members of the league asking us to take a step back, give Jordan podcast of the year, and I don't want to get into what they were saying, but we took them seriously. We took it seriously. So we did take a step back, but we were also told we weren't going to be attacked. And I've heard
some shots across the bow for sure.
And we have. We weren't supposed to
think he's running away with the podcast of the year this year, but I don't know.
And now with we feel like the commissioner's overstepped, so we've had to come back in, and it's been quite the start to the season, quite the season so far, and not being able to speak on it hasn't been necessarily fun. Taking a back seat, watching, but no more, right?
No, the league's voices need to be heard.
Yeah, it's true.
It's gone.
It really is true. Let's talk about the league for just a bit. You're having a great season.
I am indeed.
You're having a terrific year. Let's talk about the A-League. Tickle and Marty leading the way, 7-3. Alex and Henderson, in the next two spots in those playoff spots, 6-4. So Jer, Papa T, and Jake would be the three going down right now. Do you see any changes in that division?
Changes in the division. It's tough to like really pay too much attention because a lot of the action happens like at 3 a.m. over here while I'm asleep.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy to be down in my division down here because 6-4, I'd be much lower in the standings in that division up there.
Division definitely looks like it's had the more luck this year. Definitely not the skill. I think it's going to stay relatively the same. I think Jaron, Jake, and Papa T could all face that bottom going down to the B. But we'll see. And in our division, I mean, it's going to be close now. Liam and Kalen had, at 5-5 with 5 weeks left. Dally and I could, rally something off here.
It's true, yeah. It's not out of reach. Zach's 7-loss streak. No one likes to see that. That hurts the spirit a little.
And I should address my fantasy season because I haven't had a good year. That being said, no one's faced more injuries in either league in the B3FL than myself this year.
True. Isaiah Likely on the sidelines here. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah. Well, Isaiah Likely 600 fab hurts right now, but I still have faith. I still have faith that he's going to be finish as a top 10 tight end. He's at 15th right now, but him being out is hurting. I mean, tight ends are hurting this year.
Yeah, there hasn't really been like a super great, like consistent option.
But I like my team on paper. They're just not producing. Etienne's been unfortunate. Stroud's been unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're battling. We're 3-7. Could easily be, 5-5, and right in the thick of things. We're not.
It's true.
We're not. Ryman leading the way in the dilly dally and the boys.
Yeah, Ryman's been having a great season. 2-loss streak. You hate to see that, but he was on a fucking tear for a while. But I don't know, man. I got a fucking nasty squad. I got the most points for at the moment. My points against aren't that high.
Your top three there: Hurts, Gibbs, Williams.
I have been shredding it pretty hard. Last few weeks have been fucking ruthless. Hit a couple number ones. So I'm hoping to continue that personally. I'm glad I'm in the dilly dally. I'm feeling pretty comfortable that I'll be playing in the A-League next year at the very least.
Yep.
So I don't know. I'm happy with the A-League. I think the A-League's all been behaving. I think everyone's been competitive. I don't think anything crazy's been happening.
The league tried to keep it a quiet year for whatever reason.
There was an accusation of collusion 9 days ago. Zach Lang dropped Josh Downs by accident and then was added back to his team, which just on paper looks way crazier than whatever fucking trade happened in the B League.
Yeah. And, shout out B League guys, keeping up the content this year. Speaking of the B League, Scott, if it ended today, he gets the 1 seed and is back in the A League. And then,
baby,
Jordan Jackson, first round, Ty Nate, Ricky, Andrew having a terrific year. Newcomer.
Yeah, both the newbies have been doing great.
Yeah, they really have actually. And both of them actually make the top 10 this in this power rankings. The mid-season power rankings form here.
Power rankings, eh?
Yeah, you want to hear some of them?
Yeah, hit them with it, man.
Pistol People power rankings. The 3 blind mice this week. Now, this is based off the last 3 to 4 weeks. We base these power rankings off of. So not just last week, but recent weeks. So 3 blind mice. Jordan Ivany. He is a permanent blind mice. Not to say that I haven't been down there this year and Dally hasn't been down there, but he's struggling. He's struggling again, finishing the bottom along with Tom and a couple others, but having a tough year. Now, one of the first times we've had 2 A-Leaguers on the 3 blind mice, Zach Lang, friend of the show.
Oh, shit.
Friend of the show, but he has fallen into last place in the weaker division, essentially. And at 2-8, it's not looking pretty for him. He's got to play Alex this week, who could have easily made the top 10, but we're still not fans of Alex on the show, so not in the top 10. And the last one, Jake. Wow, Jake's just had a tough year for a guy who does talk quite a bit of trash. And enemy of the show, Jake, is sitting at 4-6 and projected to lose to Jer, the commish, this week. So that makes up our 3 blind mice.
Figure it out, fellas.
Then there's Ocean's 13 now. We don't need to name them. They're just in the middle somewhere hanging out.
Ocean's 13. Just floating.
Now, I'm going to make a change here at number 9. I'm going to make number 9 change that. I'm going to have to throw someone on here. But number 10, we're going to show our solidarity. The power rankings are going to show love to the other power rankings here. And Tom is going to get the 10th spot here. His fantasy team does not deserve to be in the top 10. I know. But the Pistol Pico power rankings are built on intangibles. They're built on what doesn't just happen in the fantasy week, but happens in the real week. And we stand with Tom. Tom gets number 10.
Shout out.
I'm going to give you, Ryan, the choice of number 9. Initially, I had a name on here. I'm not going to say the name. He was on here because I was going to show support to him as well. I'm not going to name him, Mike Bell, but his performance on that thing was so poor as a lawyer for Tom. We've taken him off. And we think that if Tom does need advice or help again, he needs to come directly to our show.
I would agree with that one.
Nice spot.
I think we definitely could have helped out that court case. I think we're some of the best in the biz as far as the law goes. So, I think he messed up picking a guy that falls asleep halfway through the trial.
And that's why he's been essentially taken out of the power rankings. The top 10, he falls back into Ocean's 13. Still a Mike Bell fan, but you got to come to Tom's aid the whole time.
Let's see, number 9. See, I don't know who you've got on the rest of the list, but
it doesn't matter who I've got. I just want to know what your 9 is. That's the beauty of it.
As far as both leagues, I would say maybe the B League. I would say maybe who's been popping off. Ric Flair's on a 2-week at 6-4. Go Buffalo. Maybe he should be even higher, especially considering all the intangibles he's been a part of lately. Our league, maybe Papa Terry's on a good tear recently. That's like a good 9th spot. His record's not great, but he's on the move.
Papa T, eh?
4-6, 4-win streak, turning his season around. He's on the upswing. Who's he playing week 11? Could take another one against Marty. Might be a tough game, but especially if you win that one, you're looking pretty.
Papa T in the 9 hole, eh? He was on my top 10. I had him at higher, much higher.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, he's had a really good season actually, Papa T. But that's okay. We're gonna get it replaced. Nate in 8.
Nate
just beat Jackson, who's going to be higher than him on this list. Nate's had a solid season, bounce back year for him. Having a good year. Ricky comes in at the 7th hole.
136 points this week. That is a huge week.
Gotta like what he's doing this year. Another B leaguer, Andrew, newcomer to the league, expansion team, having a really good season. He actually won GM of the week, week 1 this year.
5-5. Can't be mad at that as a newcomer. On the upswing.
In the fifth hole, we got Jackson. Had a good couple weeks. Every week he seems to be putting up points. He hasn't never gotten blown out. Also a newcomer, another B-leaguer too.
Great looking team.
In the 4 hole, Marty. He could have easily been even a bit higher, but
yeah, he's put up some monster weeks, Marty. Last week won the game pretty much on Thursday.
yeah, Marty's definitely had a good season.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson and Jamar Chase on Thursday night were enough to outscore Liam's entire team. So you don't want to see that if you're Liam, but for Marty, that's enough to get you a good comfortable spot in the power rankings for sure.
Yeah. And again, he's had a great year, so shout out Marty. Ty comes in at number 3. Ty's had a solid year. I mean, he was running away with the B League for a bit, kind of falling back off the high horse, but still solid.
Big T.
In the number 2 hole, we're going to give him some love here because, he is obviously a defending champ. Terrific GM. Ryman's going to get the 2 hole. Hasn't been playing great this last couple of weeks, but friend of the show, we're going to give him the 2.
Does that mean I'm number 1? That's very generous of you.
Buddy, you get the number 1 spot, partly based because I think your team has played fantastic the last few weeks, the last 4 weeks.
Let's
a 116, 133 week 8, week 7 you were 136. I mean, those are big time scores. 103 and a win last week.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you're there, bud.
I mean, it's just business as usual on my end. Draft a great team, do a little tinkering, waiver wire action here and there, but just had a feeling about these boys early on, and they've been delivering pretty hard. So
you've done a terrific job this year, pal.
Thank you. I agree.
Yeah, and your counterpart has not here. Definitely off to a slow start, but we're on a 1-game heater now. I think we're going to bounce back a bit.
That's all you need is a little momentum sometimes. Just keep it rolling, keep it snowballing, keep it growing bigger and bigger.
100%. Well, this has been fun to get back behind the mic with you.
Yeah, I know the people have been asking for the power rankings. They've been awaiting it with bated breath. And
yeah, I think we've definitely had a slow start to the season. Again, for whatever reasons, out of our control, in our control, but we're back. I think that's what's important. The Pistol and Gun Cop show is back.
Fuck yeah. In a big way.
Well, let's I think we sign off this one, buddy. And we hit them with another one here soon.
Yeah, hell yeah. Don't get comfortable out there, guys. We're fucking on your ass. We're watching in the shadows. Just waiting to strike.
And this is a shout out to call out to Jordan directly. If you're going to come at this podcast and say that what we're saying is made up, then you need to come on the show and say that just to our Zoom faces directly.
If you can fucking handle that.
And that's a direct call out to Jordan.
Direct call out.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Take it easy now.
The league's on notice once again. Don't get comfortable out there. Don't try any shit. Don't try any crap. Be on your ass. All that crap.
Tell him.
Pull up with a stick, let it hit. 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 I put this on the 10. I'm an in, in life no beginning. Fuck a friend, bitch I'm with the mob. You can't get in, we committed sin. Free my niggas in the pen. Free on murder, my shit, bitch sticks getting killed. Bitch, thought she was dancing on their dick, that's the clip. Bitch, we gon' shoot up in the air, you getting hit. Just GF, we ain't clicking over shit. Got your hoe screaming, whoa, whoa, whoa. My verse is 10, we gon' fall. And you know we been having shit. All of these niggas average. Swallow my dick just like a brisk. Do 2,500, no at the wrist. So many blue strips. My pocket look like a crook. Throw that presents. Fuck nigga have it. Oh, I'm mobbing. You starving. You a victim. I'm robbing. True love to the mall. Put a couple capos and 100 fucking dimes. Call up Slaughter Gang, you get your shit paused. Draco with a drum, this bitch ain't never go stop. We on that night war shit, Slaughter Gang shit, Green Stove shit. It's the mall, bitch. You ain't got mall ties, you just on ID. Pull up with a stick, any pussy get it hit. Pull up with a stick, let it hit. Pull up with a stick, let it hit. Pull up with a stick, let it hit. Pull up with the stick, let it hit. I put this on the 10. I'm a in life no beginning. Fuck a friend, bitch I'm with the mob. You can't get in, we committed sin. Free my niggas in the pen. Real murder, more shit, perk gang, that my gang. Know the family, nigga, ain't no way I'm changing. Oh no. Get the commas, get the cash, do the numbers. I've been grinding all summer, getting that lumber. Pull up, we take shit. Give me that. Pull up, we lay this shit down. And no, we ain't basic bitch. Oh yeah, pull on your hood with the round. My wrist is on the 10. I'm in that Benz. I let her get in. Her and her friends.
Loso loaded coming straight out the G. Loso loaded coming straight out the G. Loso loaded get that check on the 3rd. And Loso loaded get that check on the 1st. Crime paid, did it like that I chose. I saw the gang niggas straight up and gold. Hellcat, yeah, it came with the kit. Bases loaded, nigga, I'm on my shit. Burning rubber on a broke nigga stick. Pull up with a stick and I let it hit. I pull up with a stick and I let it hit. I pull up with a stick and I let it hit.
Pull up with a stick, let it hit. Pull up with a stick, let it hit. Pull up with the stick, let it hit. Pull up with the stick, let it hit. I put this on the 10. I'm a in life no beginning. Fuck a friend, bitch I'm with the mob. You can't get in, we committed sin. Free my niggas in the pen. Real murder.